Katz here at Riverside Church Disc Golf Course. We play around and tell you what I throw and why I throw it and talk about the sport of disc golf. Let's get started.
Number 1 at Riverside Church, supposedly 243 feet. Got to keep it low because of those trees. Okay, so started off with the drive, the Halo Air, and it's a very stable disc for me. Stable meaning you throw it, put it on an angle, it stays on that angle with a little bit of fade. Probably gave it a little bit of hyzer because I definitely wanted to make sure it faded towards the basket. So right hand, forehand, hyzer, and hyzer. Natural fade this way. Understable discs will turn over, stable disc will stay, and an understable disc will stay and fade off to the right. Whereas for the right hand backhand, stable disc will stay on the line you put it, understable will turn over, and overstable will stay and then fade off to the left. So there you go. Now the numbers on the disc. The first number is speed. Lower the number, the easier it is to throw. Mid-ranges are 4, 5, 6, fairway, control drivers, 7, 8, 9. Putters are lower, 3s and 2s basically. And then your distance drivers come in 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that's the first number. Second number is glide. Higher that number, starting around 4, 3, going up to 5, 6. Those will glide a lot. Higher the number, the more the glide. Means the more the wind will take it. Means less accurate for putting and that sort of thing, but you get some extra distance for the drives. And then the third number is the turn, and that's that number. A negative number means understable, but this is going to turn over. Hyzer, flip. That's what you want from some discs. If you're trying to get down the fairway with a lot of trees, throw it on a hyzer and let it flip up and go straight. So understable discs are your friend, beginners. You should be using those. Leopards, cobras, mid-ranges in general, stable discs. Don't go for anything with too high of a speed. If you're not getting the disc, you're throwing a disc, you're not getting it to turn over, or at least stay on its course for a while before it fades, you need to shrink that first number, go down in number. Last number is fade, again the natural fade. So the Halo Air got me there, a nice straight flight with a little bit of fade on the end. And then the putt with my Ace Race Salt, love this disc. On the forehand it's a hyzer flip disc, throw it with some hyzer, it'll flip up and go straight. And then when I throw it with right hand backhand, it's got a predictable fade, which let me get underneath and around these trees here and fade it nicely into the basket. On to the next one. Okay, number 2, 284 feet, par 3, just straight across the grass here. Okay, so there you go, the Avenger SS. Perfect S-curve disc, basically. Hyzer flip, and then it kind of S's out at the end. Gives you maximum distance. This one's extremely flippy, 168 grams this one. Now I don't have a very strong arm, so it's pretty much my best throw there. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 260. And finished it off with the putt here. This is a Illinois State Doubles 2015 disc, and I got it at a used disc store. So I like to go to used sporting goods stores and buy discs and incorporate them into my game. You know, they tend to be a little cheaper, and more importantly to me, they're broken in. Someone's already thrown them. They've hit trees, they've broken in, they are less stable than they were when they were originally bought, and that means a disc like this one, this was not as flippy a long time ago. It's DX plastic, the cheapest, and it breaks in, and you can turn it over really easily. And discs like this, sometimes they get too flippy. I have Destroyers and Valkyries that are just too flippy for me. What I do with those is sometimes when I play water courses, I will go ahead and throw them with a whole bunch of hyzer, let them turn over and hopefully S-curve out and get me over the water hazards. And that way if I lose them, you know, it's not a main disc for my bag. Which brings me to the next point. Don't forget to write your names on these discs so that you can get them back if you lose them. And always call somebody. If you find a disc, has a number in it, call them, give it back to them. Maybe it's their favorite disc. You know how that feels. You don't want to lose your favorite disc. Also, count the number of discs you brought so that you can get them all home. And also realize when I'm shooting these videos, I'm shooting multiple discs. I'm not coming out here and birdieing every single one of these. I do get birdies, I do get aces, but disc golf is a very difficult sport. If you're shooting 40, playing 9 holes, well, try to shoot 39 the next time. If you're shooting 80 on 18, try to shoot 79 the next time. It's a sport that you can compete against yourself and your friends. And don't really listen to what your friends are throwing because they throw different than you. They have more power, less power, whatever it is. Throw what you throw. Go out into a field, get a bunch of discs, swap them with your friends, and that way you can fine-tune your game. On to the next one. Okay, number 3, straight across the pasture here. Says 319 feet, par 3. I'm not so sure about that. It looks a little longer. But, anyway, let's have at it. Discraft heat there, not a great shot. Shifty wind over this little pasture here. And still a good distance to the basket, unfortunately. So there you go. Discraft heat started me off, and then probably not what other people would choose, a halo air. And like I said, the wind's shifty out here. I wanted something I could throw up with some hyzer that would just fight and then fade. So for me, I use this distance driver as an approach disc. I do that a lot because to me the flight's predictable. Got me very close to the basket for the putting with my 86 putter. This putter's older than a lot of players out here, so I recommend getting something normal, a Wizard or an AVR. Get 5 of them. Practice your putting. Practice, 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 practice. So there you go. It's a very tough one here. Windy out here, but it's okay. Par is good. On to the next one. Okay, number 4. Straight across the pasture, a different way again. It says 334 foot, par 3. Okay, so the Daedelus thrown pretty much with some anhyzer, because that's really kind of a hammer disc for me. Just put it up there with a lot of anhyzer and let it kind of straighten out and then fade back. That's what it did. Still a ways to the basket over there. But I also threw my Crank SS, which is one of my staples of my bag. Really love it, and that's more understable, so I was able to throw that with a bit of hyzer, let it turn over and just glide on out and then fade a little bit, and ended up with a bit more distance with the Crank SS. I just wanted to show you kind of overstable versus understable for the forehand flick, and there you have it. Okay, so there you go. Started off with the used Daedelus and also Crank SS there, and showed you 2 different throws. And then I actually used the Daedelus for the approach, and then a buzz for that long par putt. So there you go, using the discs and making them do what you want them to do. That's what disc golf is all about. On to the next one. Number 5, straight across, 319 feet. So, the Hex Raketan got me started. Nice S-curve disc, turns over and does its little S-curve thing. I love this disc. Also has a nice texture to it. Hex Raketan, really nice. And then almost birdie, an ace race in the Avenger SS. And the Crank SS, just for fun. So there you go. Throw what you throw, don't listen to what everybody else throws. I've been playing for decades and my distance isn't great, but I do know what these discs do. Sometimes that can save me with these difficult shots and approaches. You have to go around trees and things like that. That's what I like to use distance drivers for, like the Crank SS sometimes, or maybe a Valkyrie or something like that. You know how to throw it to get it to wind around trees, especially with my weak right-hand backhand. So there you go, on to the next one. Number 6, par 3, 265 feet, straight across into the wind. Okay, so there you go, case in point, excellent driver. My Avenger SS, but also not a bad putter to get me around a tree for a weird shot. Predictable fade and right in. The driver is a Polaris. It's a Bonita disc golf disc that I also got at the used disc golf store. I love going and getting strange discs and throwing them in the field and seeing what works for me. Check out some of my field videos elsewhere on YouTube. But there you go. Fun birdie with 2 cool discs. Number 7, a 272 foot par 3. There's the tee. So you've got just a whole line of trees. You can either go, I guess, out this way or over that way. Let's see. Okay, so there you go. Started off with the Crank SS, one of my favorite discs, love it. Just stayed pretty straight, gave it a lot of flat and just a lot of spin and hung on and got me pretty close to the basket for the putt with my 86 putter. Okay, number 8, 341 foot par 3. So that's certainly out of my range. Let's see what I can do. Okay, so there you have it. Crank SS once again, and my Ace Race Sol. Had to get around those low branches, so this is the perfect disc. Just nice little putt approach disc, and it's really become a favorite of my bag. In fact, this Crank SS and this Ace Race Sol, maybe a very stable mid-range. I could play any course. And that's something to think about. Of course, I come out here with a lot of discs because I want to show a lot of things happening. But putter, mid-range, driver, that's pretty much all you need to play most courses. And if you get 3 discs down very well, and you know what they're going to do all the time, and you can vary the amount of hyzer and hyzer, and then you can really play any course, dogleg left, dogleg right, hyzer flip with a small tight fairway, make these discs do whatever you want. Go out into a field, learn them, and just practice, practice, practice. Number 9, par 3, 253 feet. Oh, right off the top. So close. Okay, so number 9. With the Polaris straight off the top of the basket, close to an ace. Oh well. And then my red 86 putter. So there you have it. Cool course. That's the front 9. Well, thanks for watching this round at Riverside Disc Golf Course. Don't forget to check out all of my other disc golf videos. If you like cars, just Google Drivin Ivan, any car, and you will find it. Also, my music videos. My video for Free Your Mind has my guitar collection in it, some of my car collection as well. But I love playing disc golf and shooting these different courses. And so I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram also. And of course, YouTube as well. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And of course,